I believe I've shown you guys Miracle Hot Springs in one of my older videos and explained how the government shut it down and wouldn't let anybody rebuild. Well, there's some new people in the Forest Service and they are allowing us to rebuild. I don't know who did this since I've been gone, but somebody came in here and put a lot of time and work into getting Miracle going again. This is truly my favorite hot spring anywhere. The waters really are miraculous. The way it used to be called compressor hot springs because they ran compressors for the gold mining off the hot water. But then after World War II, some people were coming back with gangrene. They didn't have a really good grasp on antibiotics around then. Might have been World War I. And nothing would really heal it or stop it from eating away besides amputation. So some of them were coming here and soaking in this water, and the gangrene would stop. It would scab over. It wouldn't, parts weren't growing back. It wasn't that much of a miracle, but parts would scab over and they would stop decomposing, and so they called it Miracle Hot Spring. Now they're doing it a little different now than how we did it back in the day, but I like this setup too. That right there's the source, which first feeds this tub, which is now the hottest tub. It spills over into those tubs and spills over into this tub. Back in the day, we channeled the water over here. We built it up so that it would flow over here and then down through this and into this little channel right here, which was a cooling wall. And the water would go down the cooling wall and drop into there, and it would lower it a few degrees, enough that it would make it a little more tolerable. Either way, I think whoever did this did an awesome job. I'm not criticizing. I'm just pointing out how it used to be versus how it is now. I can't believe I have the place all to myself. I'm about to hop in here and have a soak. And, yeah. Wow. I'm speechless, and it's not often that happens. But I truly am speechless. I thought I would never see this place rebuilt like this again. Cannot find the words to convey what a big deal this is to me. I'm no wordsmith, not by any means, but it's not very often that I can't think of anything to say. I used to be the assistant manager of this when it was open as a pay-to-soak day-use area. A lot of crazy things happened, and I had to quit. You can hear all about that in my other video, The Real Story of Miracle Hot Springs, I think that's what it's called. And I thought I would never see these springs rebuilt. I thought the Forest Service was going to just keep destroying them like they did for years. The Forest Service and BLM have done some things in recent years that I don't agree with. Not necessarily about hot springs, just in general. But I've got to give kudos to whoever decided to just let people do this. Just let people have these things. You can't stop the water from flowing. The mission statement of the Forest Service is supposed to be to provide access to these things, not to bar access. And yeah, I know stuff can get out of hand. I know that better than anybody, but you can't just squash freedoms because some people abuse them. A lot of people have done a lot of work on this place. You can tell by looking at that water how clean it is. People come down here and volunteer their time to clean it and rebuild it. I really thought I would never soak in Miracle again, aside from maybe like a little sandbag pool or bringing one of those plastic kids tubs and siphoning water from the source into that. I truly, after it's been 18 years now since they closed it, well 17 anyway. It was late 2000, maybe early 2001. And after all this time, I thought I would never get to soak in the healing waters of the natural healing waters of Miracle Hot Springs ever again. Boy, was I wrong. Remington is still there. Been there, it's been maintained well, and it's nice, and it's besides the river like this, but every hot spring has a little bit different mineral content, and there's a reason this one's called Miracle. I don't even know if I'll ever upload this video. You know, I live by the philosophy of sharing these kind of places because they belong to all of us, and I want everybody else to have the experience, but I got to admit, I do like seeing it just be calm and clean and quiet, and sit by the river and watch the wildlife, listen to the hot springs, soak my bones. I feel like I'm 10 years younger already.